Hello? Every time the phone ring, spurring Dior before I take my leave. Give me the Cartier or the right lane. I bust down on that V Constantine. Ooh, bada boom, tailor-made suits. Ooh, bada bang when I bust down bling. Fuck them niggas, they ain't on my team. Probably take 2 shots.
Listen. Listen, man. This is the first War Daddy Got That Dog podcast. The very first episode ever. Thank you. This is outside of my podcast called, of course, Thank Dad Sportscast, which is right outside the Thank Dad Sportscast. It's just one of the many things under our umbrella. And when I thought about this, man, this was something I wanted to do to bring, to let people know, man, that there's a whole nother life after sports. And so what I wanted to do was capture a lot of athletes, professional athletes who were great at what they did. And I wanted to capture them after their sports careers and see what they're doing now. And mostly, I wanted to be a lot of the people that I truly respect. People that I truly have admiration for, because when you do these type of podcasts, it makes great shit. You know what I mean? When you truly have admiration for a person, it makes just great shit. You know what I'm saying? So I have a brother here today that when I first started hearing about Mr. Karon Riley, was from a guy named Cliff Jones, and I come to the studio, and I was a young dude, I was like 17, going to the studio, right? Be Genuine and Missy Aaliyah everywhere, you know, and Timberland. And it's hard to go back to school and tell your friends that, man, I was in the studio with Genuine all night long. It's hard, so I just never told anybody, right? At the end of the day, Cliff Jones used to talk about Karon Riley, this defensive end from Detroit, okay? He's part of the Hankerson clan, you dig? He's part of that mob over there from Detroit, right? So, and listen, at that time, I am the shiznit in Washington, D.C. You understand me, bro? I'm the shiznit. And I'm like, why do you keep telling me about this Karon Riley guy, right? So time goes by. I get to Wake Forest, right? I'm D1. Karon is now in the top 5 defensive ends in the country. And here we are, hearing the name Karon Riley again. So then I meet Karon Riley a couple years later, man, and we link, and we mop up, and it was real immediately real. And we've been partners ever since, man. We may not talk all the time, but every time we get together, it's a real deal. You feel me? And so when I was scrolling through Instagram, I had several people that I wanted to do this with. And when I scrolled through, I looked and I said, Karon is the perfect guy, man, to kick off my first episode. So I want to introduce to the world, and I don't really have to, but I want to introduce to everybody the first War Daddy Got That Dog podcast. I got Karon Riley, goddamn. Stop playing with me.
And now it's the new iteration of Karon is Karon Joseph Riley. You know, the Karon Riley is the football Karon.
Oh, okay.
Karon Joseph Riley is the new improved version. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that's what this whole show's about. What makes that person after sports? You know, it's not easy fucking transition when you've been doing it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not quite the easy transition. And then you know, I know that you were drafted in the 4th round. You came out. Who was your first team you played with? Chicago. To the Falcons. Then to the Falcons, right?
To the Falcons, yep.
Canadian League.
Canadian in between Washington Redskins.
Right. You came
your hometown for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then I went did Toronto before that. Then came back and finished up with 2 years in the arena, which was the best time playing football. I say everybody who didn't have the kind of career they wanted in the NFL, go play arena at the end, you'll feel better.
Hey, listen, salute to Arena League back when we played the Arena League.
When they actually paid some money.
When they paid money. When Matt Nagy was a quarterback at Carolina Cobras and Froggy and all them guys. Yeah. Listen, and so from there, Karan, what was the move? But before you tell me the move, Karan, I want to know more than anything, what was the automatic shift that you already had in mind when you were going through those transitions of moving to those different teams? I think we all know as athletes how things are kind of going, you know? And so what was starting to be the wheels that was turning that was the next move? Because I know you're a confident dude and you always got something up your sleeve. So how did you start to bring that shit together?
Well, I go back to your original thought and question. You said, the transition. No transition in life is easy, right? So, the very word itself is transition. Change. Most humans, most people don't like change, and that's just a fact. So for me, the transition wasn't as daunting as it would be to some people, because before I ever had a dream of being a pro athlete, I had a dream of being an actor.
Whoa.
So I had a vision for being an actor before I had a vision of ever playing in the National Football League. And to be honest with you, the vision for the NFL came so much later in my life versus what I got early on. First of all, I wanted to be an actor. Then I wanted to go to the NBA. The NBA, that was a transition because I had to leave my first love. Basketball was my first sport, my first love.
Right.
Then I transitioned to football. Like, my junior year, I was like, all right, let me play football, and so I don't have all my eggs in one basket. Did that, and I kind of knew I could make it to the NFL based on just my talent alone. And football was one of those sports that was not overtly hard for me because of my basketball athleticism. And I wasn't afraid of contact, so that part was finished. And after that point, I was just a really great athlete out there running around people that maybe weren't so good at being athletic. Right. They were big and strong, but I'm like, yo, if you can't hit, you can't touch me, it matters not. So I kind of knew I could have made it to the league. So I made a choice, a business decision, like at 17, like, look, I'm gonna focus on football. But I always knew that I was going to go into acting after. Like, even at the combine, they interviewing us and they going through questions like, so what's your plans for after football? And I'm like, I'm gonna go to Hollywood, I'm gonna take it over. And they like, you want to be an actor? And I'm like, no, I'm going to be an actor. That's after I finish doing this, I'm being an actor. They were like, okay. And so my intentions were set from day one. And also while I was in the league, like you said, started getting picked up, traded, cut, and all these different things started happening. I was kind of sitting there like, well, at some point this is gonna come to an end. I'm gonna ride this train as long as the universe allows me to stay on it. But I'm not gonna be one of these guys that's gonna just keep going from city to city trying to make the team and put my body through all that, because football was never my ideal dream. It was my ideal dream was to be an NBA basketball player. Second part of that was just to be a pro athlete. So I accomplished a tier of the first dream, right? Now, when I started transitioning, the transition was starting before I even left football. Like in my off season, I would, take acting classes in LA. Like I would always, that's where we would hang out in the off season. Me and you just hung out numerous times in the off season. And while I was out there, I was taking classes. You didn't know. A lot of people didn't know. I just was doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a plan.
Right.
I was just working the plan. So when football finally ended for me, bro, it was easy. I went to LA, right back to LA. Told my brother Jannelle, like, yo, I'm about to get into this acting. He's like, well, Tank just so happens to be going on the play. Go work with him on the play. You can see all of it up close. You can help promote this single. You can get some money, and you can start transitioning. I was like, bet. And met my wife on that same very play. And I started climbing a new mountain, bro. And I'm still climbing, and I'm used to the grind. I'm used to the work because I've seen the vision already. So it's just a matter of time before it becomes fruition.
Well, tell me a little bit about your childhood and your family. I want people to know about where you come from. Like, I don't think people really. It's weird when you know somebody, and then when you see them in the public eye, people, it's like, damn, people really don't know how deep shit is. Like, where my boy comes from and shit. They just know you on the surface. So just tell me a little bit about your background. You know what I'm saying?
So I was born and raised in Detroit. My mother was highly educated, beautiful black queen. She's the one who instilled my blackness and my pride for our people and our culture. My dad was the same. He was a teacher as well. You know, smooth talker. You know, I got my gift of gab in my charm, I think, and just my overall just ability to entertain a little bit from my dad. He's always been that guy. And I also had a village, man. I had brothers. I had my brother Jomo. You know my oldest brother Jomo. He was always, he was around, and I had coaches, and I had a lot of people in Detroit. The city of Detroit raised me. You know what I'm saying? The coaches, all those experiences informed everything I am today. So, born and raised in a city that, wasn't one of those cities like your city. It wasn't one of those cities for the faint of heart. So I learned early on how to, maneuver in different rooms and different places and be able to get things accomplished, no matter what the circumstance was. And I'm thankful to the city for that. And it's the same way you move is, you can put us in any room in the world and we're going to figure it out really quick. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we grew up. We had to figure out the rooms we were in really quick, or we could have cost us our life, right? So growing up in Detroit, man, I like I said, my mother was very encouraging about the arts. I was very artistic and creative as a child. Still the same way, man. And my mother really, really, really fostered that for me. Vegas, I can't thank my mother and my ancestors enough for the position they put me in, based on the love that they poured into me and the confidence and the belief in myself that they poured into me, man. I tell people all the time, man, I could live 2 or 3 lifetimes with the confidence that my mother instilled in me.
So I want to keep it right home real quick. I want to keep it right home. You went deep into Detroit, and what I want to, I usually have a flow to my podcast, right? I usually have a method of how I do my podcast, but right now, since we've touched Detroit, I am going into the War Daddy zone. All right?
Okay. All right.
We staying in Detroit right now. Okay?
Okay. All right.
All right, cool. All right. What program were you in at King High School? MSAT or CISC? Or CISC?
CISC. Center for International. You butchered that one.
I ain't playing.
You did some research, though. I see that.
Huh?
That's the research.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
I was in the CISC program. That was for the Center for International Studies and Commerce. It was a program designed around international business and marketing and those type of things. I had Chinese in high school, stuff like accounting and, really classes that garnered the business side of life and shit. So that's what I did. I graduated from CISC.
And listen. You had to test into those 3 schools. So there was 3 schools that were like prominent for this here, and they were also great athletic schools, okay? You had Cass, Renaissance, and King, but they just called it King. Martin Luther King, but they just called it King. What up, though?
What up, though?
You understand me?
Yeah,
so
Martin Luther the King, baby. That's my stomping ground. That's what built me. You know what I'm saying? Those halls, I put in a lot of work. I put a lot of blood, sweat in those walls, man. And I'm very proud of everything that's happened since I left there and what continues to happen at that school, man. It's only really one school in Detroit to even talk about, and it's King.
Let's do it, goddammit. Talk about it. You hear me? Here we go. What's your go-to? Okay? What's your go-to? A Coney Island dog, White Castle, or Lou's Deli?
As an older man, it's going to be Lou's Deli. As a younger man, yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Are you getting the Counterman's treat? What you getting up out of there? Huh?
Oh, I'm getting the corned beef, dog. Corned
beef. The corned beef with the slaw? With the slaw on it?
Corned beef with the slaw, the mustard is over, dog. And
called the Counterman's Deli, baby. Woo!
Now I preface that to say, when I was a younger man and my body could handle it, it was Coney Island and then White Castle.
Oh yeah, me too. Listen, we can't do nothing with that grease.
Can't
You
do
hear me?
nothing with it now.
That's a sleepless night for your black ass. You eat that motherfucking grease past 7:30. It's gonna come wake your punk ass up about 11:45.
Bruh.
Boy.
Hey, every time I'm home, I be looking at it like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yo, that should have you questioning mortality at 12:30 at night, boy.
Yeah, nah, you be sitting there saying to yourself, what have I done to myself? What have I done to myself?
Oh, I got one more for you. Here we go.
All right.
Did you go to Legends back in the day?
Absolutely. But here's the funny. Legends really, we were sneaking in Legends because we weren't old enough to get in when Legends was popping. So,
okay.
Real true story. We went to college, did all our thing, and we came back 1 year, and Legends had changed. It had became a gay bar.
No way.
Yes, a gay club. So we brought our asses down here and went in like we was like, we about to be gigging.
You didn't. You did not.
And we just started kind of noticing the crowd was a little different than what we was used to. And we just started looking, man. We're like, yo, dog, I think we're in the wrong place, man. Hey, dog, that was a wild story. That was the last time I was looking, man. That was crazy.
Yo, you ain't see the line outside what that line looked like first?
No, you know what? It was early, so we was like, yo, let's just run up in Legends real quick. It looked like it was, let's snag something real quick. It was early, so it really wasn't no line yet. It wasn't even jumping outside. We just kept going. Man, that's when I went in that joint, man. We was like, yo, dog, we out of here, man. We
gotta go. This don't look right.
This ain't our party.
Yo, that is hilarious. The person that helped me with this is going to laugh their ass off when they hear that shit right there. Salute to that. All right, listen, here we go. Babalu Island or Cedar Point. Okay. Oh, sorry. Babalu Island?
Cedar Point. But here's the thing. I just took my daughter and my son to Cedar Point this summer with my family from Detroit. Because we used to go to Cedar Point every summer as a family. But we did Babalu like every other weekend. You know what I'm saying? You get on the boat, go up to Babalu, get your joint on. And Babalu was dope, dog. I used to take a boat up the river to the amusement park. So you would be gigging on the boat, and then you get off the boat and do the park, and then gigging on the way back. It's dope. That concept was so dope, dog.
I love it. I'm not playing. Here we go. I got one more for you.
All right.
Bailout or Jefferson Strip? Where'd you park? Where'd you park at?
No, Bailout was cool, but I think Bailout was more our parents' hangout. So Jefferson Strip was our hangout, dog. You know what I'm saying? We used to go up and down Jefferson, and King was on Jefferson. My high school was on Jefferson. So that was natural. An
easy spot to just mob out.
Yeah, easy spot to mob out. But here's the thing: Bailout was off Jefferson too, so it wasn't like, what we would do is we would roll down Jefferson, hit Bailout, and Bailout was an island, so we would go around the island, come on around, see what we could see, cruising, come back out, hit that left on Jefferson, find us a spot. Probably we usually hang out right at the school with our crew. And that'd be what it was. And then they had a couple clubs and, Legends and all that stuff was one too far because King was downtown. So King was in the mix. So
Buddha's Pizza or
Buddy's
Pizza Papoli's? Okay, sorry. Buddy's Pizza?
Buddy's Pizza or Pizza Papoli's?
Yeah, which one?
Buddy's.
You fuck with Buddy's?
Yeah, Buddy's is the original DJ since 1976.
Salute the Buddies, man.
Yeah, man.
Now, the classic question, and I think anybody who knows me, and this is the final question, everybody who knows me, bro, knows that this is my favorite place in the United States to perform in the D. Okay? It has my heart and soul. But Fox Theater or Shane Park?
Damn, dog, that's a tough one, man. You got the historical Fox Theater, but also you got the historical Shane Theater, which is on the water outside. I would say I have fonder memories of Shane Park versus the Fox. Amen. So I'm gonna go with
yes. Yo, listen, Shane Park is the most beautiful place you've ever seen in your life. If you're if you're black, and I don't mean nothing by black or white, but when you in Shane Park, black just feels like the goddamn thing to be when you in Shane Park, bro.
Oh yeah. You
ain't
been to a concert until you've been to a concert.
Shane Park.
Anita Baker, Luther, they used to throw down on Shane Park, dog.
Erykah Badu changed the color in Shane Park one night.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Listen, it's called Aretha Franklin now, but let me tell y'all something. If y'all ever go to Detroit, you got to go to a place called Motor City Soul Food on 7 Miles, one of my favorites, okay?
Yep.
I always want to put them on because when I go there, they bless me. They show me love. That's Motor City Soul Food. And next is Shane Park. If you go in the summertime, you're going to get some of the most beautiful concerts you've ever seen in the city of Detroit. In the city of Detroit, there's so much goddamn love in the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Now, about the Fox Theater, the fucking elevators never work, guys. I had to walk a lot of steps fucking working in that place for so many years. The elevator's hardly fucking working there, but it's definitely historical. Now, I know that we're married, bro. We're married men. And I'm talking to my buddy the other day, and I'm talking to him, and he's like, yo, man, he was like, I remember the Steve Harvey show. We were talking about the Steve Harvey show. And he said, you know, I wish I had a Levita Alizé Jenkins, man. Remember her? I said, what? And he said, listen, Slim, Levita Alizé Jenkins, Slim, she was the one. Listen, that's the one, that's the joint you wanted to marry out the neighborhood. I said, yo, you are right. And listen, she played that role better than, it was so organic how she played that role, bro. But then you see her in other shit. And it's just like, yo, she's a phenomenal actress. And you guys linked up. And what is life like for two actors? Like, what is that life like? You know, like, how does that work? And with kids and life and who you are, who she is, how does that work in Atlanta?
It works relatively smooth, man. At this stage, man, we 16 years in, man, and of course we've grown and we've done our growing, our living. We still growing and we still living, of course. But we got 3 kids together, man. We got a whole empire and something we building and continue to build. So for us, man, we understand the good thing about it is we understand each other's job, right? Which is, if you got one person who's an actor and somebody who's not, it's tough to understand the business, the game, and what we do. So I think we're perfectly yoked and matched in terms of just personalities in the business and just being in the same world and loving the same art and the same craft of what we do. And we both take it from totally 2 different standpoint too. So I think that's the biggest thing, is like we have enough differences in our approach to it that it works. It works with our schedules. We've been very fortunate to where we're both never busy at the same time, where like she'd book a movie where she's directing or working in it, acting in it, and I'll be down, won't have a gig, so I'll be holding down the fort with the kids, all that. Then it'll flip. I get busy for a month or 2 and get on the road working, and she'll be down, It's just really been working out really good for us the last, 15, 16 years. And as my career has continued to uptick and her career has continued to evolve and uptick, she does a lot of directing now. And she's really taken that and has really, accelerated her growth in the industry by directing and getting behind the camera. And of course, I'm still climbing the ladder as an actor, a leading man in the game myself. So it just really works out, man. I think we just been blessed beyond measure for our personalities to gel and match the way they do.
Well, I often watch these podcasts, and I've met your wife before, and a couple times actually, and I often see these different podcasts and different platforms where there's always somebody asking somebody, what do you bring to the table? You know, and I saw a fucking pastor and his wife explaining to someone what a helpmate was, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm married to, my wife is white, and you know, I met my wife and we just fell in love. I was dating everybody. I lived in LA, homie. You know, you slaughter everything in sight. You heard me, and you know, and I fell in love with my wife, and I not once have ever asked her to bring shit to the table, or not even thought about no shit like that. Right. But back in the day, Black Love never fucking would ever ask, what do you bring to the table? And we're so disconnected somewhere. How? And I know you see that in Atlanta. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody's out for self and out for something nowadays, man. It's like everybody knows the price of everything, but the value of nothing. It's you know, I do believe that you need to mate and match up with somebody who's in your stratosphere. Meaning, my mother was a big proponent of teaching to me the rule of the talented 10, right? So for me, I've always been intentional about anybody I'm gonna build what I've been building with my wife the last 16 years. I didn't have any babies out of wedlock before I got married. I didn't do all the loose cannon shit that most of my contemporaries
Me neither.
were engaging in. I was engaging in a lot of other things, but I was still being very selective and smart
right.
with how I was engaging. So I've always been taught to think about where I'm laying my seed, what soil I'm putting my seed into, and I was intentional about that with my wife. Like my wife, she's basically from the Detroit of the West Coast. Really, at the end of the day, she's from San Francisco, Hunters Point. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, she played that role of either.
Bay Area.
Yeah, man, Bay Area. Give them a shout out. And it's because she's really that girl, man. She's down to earth. She's cool as shit. She gives a fuck about people. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed, you know, like I needed that. You know, I needed people around me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like being an athlete coming from that world, I could have a tendency to be self-absorbed. You know what I'm saying? Totally blinded and be just focused on what I got to get done. And you know, having a woman in my life for this long, I've actually learned empathy and understand it better and actually embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe the woman you marry, the woman you choose should be there to sharpen you to your potential. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that that's happened with me and my wife. Like I believe I've become a better man over the last 16 years versus if I didn't have said wife or the right wife. You see what I'm saying? So again, I don't really adhere to this new standard of what do you bring to the table, but I do completely support you matching yourself up with the proper species of your ilk. Meaning, if you're a lion, like I'm a lion, you need to get you a lioness. Don't go get you a hyena, because that's gonna be a problem at some point. You know what I'm saying? I think that just comes down to me being honest about who I am and what I know I need. Somebody that's gonna be able to survive in my stratosphere, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? We joke all the time that our house, we got a tough house, man. We don't really let you off the hook with nothing. You know?
No.
It's like the locker room. It's like the locker room here. Me, her, and the kids. Like the kids, we give it to you just as good as we get it. You know what I'm saying? So that I think that's a huge proponent. So I don't adhere to what you're bringing, but I do adhere to. You better not be here coming empty-handed. Like you better have something to. You do need to have something to bring to the empire.
No, I agree. I totally agree. I just, you know, I don't know where we get so much.
I tell you where we get it from. We get it from because us as a culture we started to emulate our oppressors, man. Like we have emulated their way of love, their way of living, their way of working, their way of everything, and none of that matches our curriculum. What we come from, how we built, none of that matches up with who we are genetically from the rooter to the tutor, bro. And I think that is a culture that is the new thing that's affecting us as a culture more than anything, bro. You got this new murder music they playing all the time. Everything is set up now to do harm to our culture, and us as the men and leaders of the culture, we got to figure out a way to step up and kind of stop this at the door. You know what I'm saying? I think it starts, like you said, it starts with who you pick as a mate, how we roll as brothers, how we support each other, and how we look to promote the health of the race, of the culture, unapologetically, and not be afraid for people to say, "Well, why are you all you care?" No, I don't have no hate against nobody. I just really care about my people. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's at.
Yeah, you know, I think that's the big thing that people get misconstrued sometimes. Is like, yo, when you're passionate about certain things, when you're passionate about your people take that. You know, what's crazy is I know when I was at Hargrave Military Academy, right? I had a lot of friends who had Confederate flags on their wall.
Wouldn't be my friends.
And you know, at the time, you know, you don't fucking know what that shit means.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you've been watching fucking Dukes of Hazzard your whole fucking life, climbing through the window of your grandma's Cadillac, homeboy. You don't know what the fuck that mean, where we come from. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to a motherfucking dorm room and you see the shit on the wall, you're not really tripping because you thinking it's Dukes of Hazzard and shit.
Right.
And then time goes by and you really, you know, listen, I've read Malcolm X. I've done my father was that guy to put me in the pocket but that kind of shit like that, I just wasn't, you see Dukes of Hazzard.
And then when Vegas, and again, not to cut you off, but us playing sports nullified a lot of that because of sports. Like I tell people all the time, like the locker room is the one place that, yeah, you may know this white boy don't really mess with black folks, but that white boy is gonna help you win, and y'all teammates, and y'all put all of that to the side for the
absolutely
goal, right?
Yep.
So as we've grown, we understood.
Great point.
We always understood that. I think that's the biggest lesson that we have to teach each other and teach our kids and teach everybody. Like, you don't got to love or like everybody to work with them and to win with them. You just got to be able to understand them and respect them. That's it. You ain't got to love and like, but you got to respect and understand.
I agree.
And if you can do that, you ain't got no problem, dog. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest thing. And I think that's what's hurting us too as the culture, because the world keeps getting told the whole same lie. So you got everybody thinking the same dumb shit about black folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just crazy.
Well, I often look at from the athletic aspect. It's always that thing where, like, when you in the trenches with a guy, man, all that shit go out the fucking door when the bullets start flying on that field. You know, a lot of you know who's who, right? And at the end of the day, you know, I know how people can be. They have the right to be excited about what they're excited about. And black folks have the right to be excited about what they're excited about. Right. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of, you know, like, there's a lot of things that have been put in place to really throw us off. You know, when I look at religion, it seems to be a big crutch for us as a culture.
Well, and because that's the one thing, that's the only thing they gave us, Vegas, when we had nothing. When we was in shackles and slavery, the one thing they did give us was their God and their religion. And it was all meant to just control us. This is what it's been doing since day one, dog. God does not do control. He is not about that. He is giving us everything we need to operate. Go be great. He ain't about no, you can't do this, you do that, you know, show up and be in hell here. No, that is all control mechanisms, dog. They used to tell the slaves straight up, like, yo, dog, we know this is hell for y'all right now, but if y'all do all y'all supposed to do right now, when y'all die, y'all gonna see what it's supposed to be. What? And really, that's really what we operating on to this day. It's like, what are we talking about? So religion has been the greatest weapon against us, one of the greatest weapons against our culture since day one.
I fall into this place where I start to not believe what the fuck I'm seeing. I start to not believe what I'm actually seeing. And let me say this, bro. It's so treacherous. It's so treacherous to prey on our people. You know, like I would never come around my brothers with my brothers in business and come with a Rolex and a chain and my cars and then say, hey, man, I know we on the same business together, but good luck to you. And they're like, wait a minute, when is it my, wait, I've been up here hoping with you, homeboy, and working with you, sweating with you, paying tithes with you. And when is it my time? Jay-Z said, the world starts when church ends. That's what Hov said. And it's so true. I will never forget one day, I went back home. I went back to North Carolina to a homecoming at Wake Forest. And it was this church that I went to, and I grew up in the Catholic church. But this church that I went to, it was the anniversary of the church. There was a young lady coming up the street, pushing a stroller, baby on her chest, baby in the stroller. I didn't know where she was going. I noticed she had a little fat ass. No lie, that's the truth. I drive by her. I go to the church. I go and I talk to this pastor. He was a friend of mine. And I found out, hey, man, you came the right Sunday, man. It's my anniversary. I'm like, okay. Coming from the Catholic church, you know, I didn't know much about a Baptist church at all. Long story short, it was the anniversary. And then I seen that girl come in with that baby. When I seen this church giving the pastor money, gifts, a trip. And I'm thinking to my fucking self, I just watched this girl walk up the street in fucking heat with 2 kids looking for hope from you, motherfucker. And forgive me, bro, but it angered me to the point, bro, why stop fucking with that place? I was already living in LA, so I was already, not going there, you know what I'm saying? But I went there because I was training that pastor, I was working with the guy and the whole nine, but at the same time, bro, like, it broke my heart to see people giving this guy with everything money, and this woman is coming to get some fucking hope.
Right.
And so I just don't know where we go. How do we reset this whole thing, Karon? I was talking to a buddy of mine. When do we find a reset, or do we find a reset in our culture? Because we're out of control, man.
Yeah, I think the reset starts within the family in our education system, man. We got to stop letting the oppressors educate our children. We got to stop letting the oppressors educate us. Just think about it. It took me damn near 40 years to shake all of the teachings and all of the stuff that they had pre-programmed into us. You know what I'm saying? So I think the education and then the family is where we got to start at, bro, and start teaching our boys and our men to be accountable, and teach our women to understand that we need them as much as they need us, and we got to get off of these stupid causes that we chasing around as black folks, man. Black women can't be feminists, man. Y'all are the beginning of mankind. Like, how the hell you gonna be a feminist when you are basically God? Stop playing with yourself. Stop, chasing behind these stupid rhetoric, all this stupid rhetoric, and get back to your people and figure this out, man. So I think that's the reset.
Well, I truly see ourselves as I truly see, that to be the key. A lot of times, a lot of women, single black mothers, are raising young black men.
The numbers, and you got to think about it. The numbers, it's 30 to 1, man. It's 30 of them for one of us. 30 of them for one of us, man. And the higher up in education and success that they get, the numbers get even less for them. You know what I'm saying? So for successful black woman, that's a doctor, lawyer, or somebody or anything in that, a teacher, got a job, got education, dog. It is. They got to fight for 2 or 3 men amongst 50 of them. It's crazy, bro. And then the world is trying to demasculinize all of us. Every chance they get, they're trying to make us turn into hybrid men. You know what I'm saying? So if you got 5 men to 50 women, out of that 5, 2 of them probably go, do other things in their spare time. That's not that may or may not be considered manly. And then the other 2 is probably like, yo, damn, I know these numbers. I ain't never settling down. Then you got 1 looking for a wife. That's the one. 1 is looking for a wife out of that 5.
1 out of 4, they say. 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4. Sorry, 1 out of 5 women are married. One out of
one
five.
out of five, yeah, and possibly out of that one, out of 5 women, 1 out of 5 women gonna probably get married in their lifetime. The rest, good luck.
Well, let me ask you this. What did you think about the Alabama boat ride? What did you think about that?
I think it was a result of kind of what's happening in the world. We can look at the down and the bad of what's happening to our culture, but there's still some good things that's happening within our culture. We are starting to consciously, as a whole, kind of shake loose a little bit and starting to see some of the writing on the wall. Right? The world, the information is not hidden like it used to be. It's easier to access it. You got everybody in the world can, get on Instagram and, hear a video or hear something that wakes up that inner African in all of us and makes us realize that we're American African first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even adhere to the term African American because it describes me wrong. I'm an American African.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an American African, meaning
I say the same shit.
Yeah. So I think we all got to get to that point. I think it's starting to happen a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been trying to keep this veil between us and our people and our brothers and sisters in Africa, saying they don't want you here. Then they've been saying the people in America don't want Africa, but that's not the case. And I think now those borders are starting to fall. And what we saw in Alabama was, man, we see one of our brothers and sisters in trouble, man. It's time to throw that hat up, you know what I'm saying? Throw the signal. That was the signal. That's the worldwide signal, you know what I'm saying? When that hat go up, it's time to go. But I laugh because that was just us being showmanship. Like, our showmanship is still dope no matter what's happening. Like, he was about to fight, and he really was throwing that hat up as like his, oh shit, now y'all done fucked up now.
Facts.
He was hoping the white boy would have looked up at it and did this. So
bop.
But the white boy just charged with me. Oh shit.
Yo, hey, listen. I personally hated watching it go as far as it did. I didn't like the fact that because I look at it from this perspective. If someone had killed one of those people, it would have changed the landscape of this country. If one of those black guys if one of my brothers and sisters had to kill one of those white folks, it would have changed the landscape of this country. And that's what I didn't like about it, that somebody wouldn't say, all right, enough is enough. Now, do I think that motherfucker...
But let me ask you this, though, Vegas. Would it change the landscape of the country in a needed way? Because think about it, dog. How the landscape treating us right now.
No. Okay, hold on.
Need to change.
Let me finish.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
I thought about it from a perspective of someone getting involved and saying, all right, guys, enough is enough. And I thought the power of it would have been to see someone say, all right, enough is enough, and to walk off, because we do have that power. But let's just say someone that got killed, one of those white folks got killed. Now there's just an uprising in the country. And you're right, the landscaping is crazy, but that would have added fuel to the fire. It could have changed a lot.
Hey, bro, I think the fire coming regardless, whether we want it or not. I think it's time. The fire is gonna come. It's gonna be a cleansing. Like, nobody of power is gonna give up power without bloodshed. And the funny thing is, when the war does pop off in this world, and this ain't even no theory, and no conspiracy theory shit. If you study history, dog, you understand that no civilization stays on top forever. Dog, America got problems bigger than us right now. You got Russia, you got China, they are in cahoots and they are coming for their necks. And what I don't want to see is, again, like in the Civil War, a bunch of us get together and we help say their ass again, and next thing you know, we back to the end of the line. So, no, the landscape needs to change. And if somebody would have died, it'd have been, hey, we still behind like a mug, so hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And because if somebody would have stopped it, you know what they'd have said again? This is what happens. This is why we can do anything we want to them, because they're programmed to not hurt us. That's what they everybody needs to see that we ain't we not playing that game with y'all like that no more, man. You got to stop that shit. You keep letting motherfuckers slap you in Vegas, they gonna keep slapping.
Well, let me say this. All right, so the same soliloquy I just dropped on you, I dropped on my partner, one of my my co-host Jada. Been my guy, been my brother since boys. You hear me? He was my center in high school, whole nine. So I told him how I felt about it. He said, man, listen. He said, that's Alabama. He said, you know what them people, he said, listen, you live somewhere else. You don't fucking go through what they go through.
They still got slavery on some of their law books there, dog.
Well, I heard that was a port. That place was an actual port where slaves came in. So I really, when I was having this, so I got on the phone with Stack and Jada to right before I got on this podcast, and I ran down this whole podcast with them like I always do. And when I hit that point, Jada said, listen, here's the reasons why those people erupted. Because they from Alabama. What they go through down there is treacherous. He said it's dangerous down there.
The ancestors' spirits got in their butt on that dock, man. That's what you saw was ancestors' spirits jumping into the people, dog. Half of the people that was fighting probably woke up the next day and didn't even realize what happened. I saw a spiritual movement. I saw Nat Turner. I saw
wow.
I saw all of them people in his ancestors saying, yo, no, enough is enough, man. This brother wasn't doing nothing but trying to do his job. And your privilege and your disrespect to the culture and to the world said, I can do whatever I want to do. And you got to reckon it. Because they was operating on the same thinking that we don't stick together. They jumped that old man and was going. That's who would end up dying if we didn't come to help him.
Yes. Oh, no. Hey.
So let's be clear. So yeah, if something would have happened to one of them that we couldn't reverse back,
right?
You know what? I don't want to see nobody die. I don't want to see no death. But hey, at the end of the day, homie, I keep score like you do.
Yo, dog. You're right. Listen, I totally agree. So when I was having that conversation and Jada hit me with that, I said, God damn. Like, bro, yeah. You know, we started running down all of our experiences in the South. We started going back and forth with our stories about being in the South. And it was like, fuck. So I made this argument just to see where you were going to go with it. And I've already been corrected once a day already. Let me just say that I've been corrected. And I just think it's ridiculous. And I put a post up on Facebook today. It was like, yo, fucking Americans, man. People in America, we still doing this shit to each other. This was happening. And yeah, you started it and they finished it. And it's just
for the first time in a while.
For the first time in a while. And let me tell you something. You know, now you see people carrying, what do you think about motherfuckers carrying chairs and shit on the back of their car?
That's the thing that I did not like about the situation, because again, us as black folks, we got so much trauma, man, that we make a joke out of everything. But that's us hiding our pain, bro. That's us hiding our fear about what's really happening, man. We all live in this country with this underlying fear that our lives could be snuffed out any moment, based on anybody deciding they want to do it that don't look like us, man. And we got to live with the fear that there may or may not be any retribution. Like, that's deep, man. So you got these folks out here fighting for their brothers and their sisters, and it's like, yo, like, at some point we got to stand up. But here's the thing. This is why, not to get off topic, but that was the part that I did not like, is because, yeah, what we just saw was maybe a precursor of what's to come soon. I don't know. I feel like at some point this country is gonna have to bubble over, man. It's going to burst, right? But I also want our people to understand, dog, carrying around a chair, that ain't gonna help you in no real battle. Like, at the end of the day, like, we got to start thinking like really military minded and thinking on a scale of like, look, guys, like y'all did that. The world saw that. Now you know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a retaliation of that energy, and ain't no cheer going. They not coming with no cheers. I'm telling you that right now. They not. You see how much they love their guns, right? You know how much they love them. You can go shoot up a whole school full of kids, and they not changing no gun laws. They not changing none of that. Cause they give up their kids and their wives and everything before they give up their guns. Because to them, that's the equalizer for us. They can't outrun us, they can't outjump us, they can't outthink us, they can't outdo none of that. So, my guns. I'm gonna keep these guns, and they're gonna keep on playing with cheers. I guarantee the jokes is going on in their community versus what the hell happened in that thing, and I guarantee we didn't come out on the top of that one. Trust me.
Wow. Yo, Karon, you're killing it. You are fucking cooking. Listen, let's transition just a tad bit.
Let's transition.
Where do you see this next part of your career going? Where do you want this thing to go? Like, there's a writer's strike right now. Like, what's really going on? Where's the next move?
Strike.
And an actor strike.
Right.
What's the next move for Karon? Karon Joseph Riley. Let me get it right. Karon Joseph Riley.
Yeah, you gotta lead the Joseph. I don't go rename.
I got you. I'm not playing around. I got you, brother.
No, I think my next move is gonna be my best move. You know, in this downtime is just for us, for me as an actor, man. I'm used to downtime.
Is it a downtime? Downtime?
Yeah, I mean, shit. We in a strike, so technically we're in a downtime for the world. But for me, I don't really consider myself part of that clique. That clique of Hollywood. I'm not a Hollywood guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm an independent. I'm us. I'm me. I'm you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really identify with that Hollywood guard because it's not. I know it's not. I know they don't want me there. I know they don't want none of us there. They'll pick some of the brightest ones out and bloodsuckers. You know what I'm saying? Drain us of all our light. You know what I'm saying? They'll do that, but they don't want us there. So I've already made my mind up for my next move and all my moves to be about empowering my people through my art and my craft. You know what I'm saying? As a producer, a writer, and as an actor. I don't want to just be an actor doing movies, man. I want to do an actor that does a movie that make a young kid, a young brother or sister pick up a book and study their history and understand where they come from. You know what I'm saying? Like I want Denzel when he was doing movies with Spike early in his career did that for me. He made me love being black. He made me want to study something outside of what society say we should do. You know what I'm saying? Mo Better Blues and all those things. I started trying to play the piano just because I saw Mo Better Blues. Like those are the kind of things I want.
No, that's what he was doing. That's what he's a hitter. Oh, come on, man.
He was everything because
he was killing them.
Yeah, it was
killing them.
The nuances, but again, those are the kind of movies that I want to do, and I want to leave a legacy for my people. I want to be able to show us in the light that makes us dream of being something other than just a worker. Yeah. I want us to dream about owning the company. I want us to dream about flying and doing all the amazing things that we can do. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I want to leave a different mark than being just a guy who made movies and was on TV and did things like that. I want to be able to leave an imprint on the planet that generations will feel from henceforth. You know, starting with my own kids, man. I'm really planting seeds. Yeah. And I won't really benefit from the shade.
Let me ask you this. You know, you come from a very real environment. You and I have both. We know gangster shit for real, and it's not what these kids think is gangster shit.
Right.
You and I, we really know gangster shit, and we come from gangster shit. We've been all around it, real shit. Back when gangsters were doing real gangster shit, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, do you think that you can? Are you able to articulate to your children the realness of understanding the difference between the goofy shit and what's truly real, are your children able to embrace it? Coming from you as a father, do they really embrace and have they seen and understand what the dynamics really truly are? You're a Renaissance man, right? You're a Renaissance man, and you come from real shit. And I'm sure your kids don't get dipped in the same kind of things that you had to be, you know, on fucking what is it here? On fucking whatever the street is you guys is posting up at and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, your kids ain't doing that, you know? Right. And occasionally when you post up out there, you might got a squab every now and then. Your kids ain't on that.
Right.
But are you able to articulate the realness of your fabric to your kids and for them to get it, to understand the difference between bullshit and real shit?
Right.
Especially having a son.
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, I think I've had to navigate that. Like you said, I got a 15-year-old. My son's 15. My oldest, my stepson is 22. And I learned early on, bro. And the thing I had to do was remember being a kid. To be a parent, I had to remember what it was like to be them, so I could understand. Right. So what I did is like
good quality.
Yeah. What did I learn the most from my parents? I learned more from my parents by just watching them be themselves. Like, yeah, I got the lectures, but that usually was followed from one of my fuck ups, right? Yeah. The lectures. The lecture came after a fuck up, right? But the majority of my upbringing was my observation and my environment, which means my friends, the community, the people I was around, and my parents' actions. So what I did is I created a life here with my family. Like, before I was an actor on this level where I can afford to take care of my family through just acting alone, I worked every job under the sun, Vegas. I was a restaurant general manager. I worked on a construction site as a foreman. I cut bushes with Latinas to help keep people's yards. I showed my sons, I showed my wife, my daughter, and I just led by example. It goes back to, like, I can show you better than I can tell you. And then now my son's 15, he's playing basketball. I get him in the gym at 5 a.m. I teach him the rules of life and the rules of discipline and hard work. And I show him that. And at the end of the day, yes, he won't ever live in the environment, do the things that you and I had to grow up doing. None of these kids are doing that. Just like when we came up, our parents used to say, we was going to shit in the handbasket too. Remember this? I mean, y'all shit is terrible. What are y'all doing?
Facts.
You can't ever forget that. Right. You got to remember, your parents talk shit about when we was young. Rap music was going to the next. Yeah. You know, it was coming. And what our parents grew up on Motown and the real music, the shit that.
Yeah.
And what did they say? That ain't no real music.
That wasn't even music. Either. Yeah, you're right.
So now I play Jay-Z and the old school shit around my kids, and they got all this new stuff going on. I don't know what that is y'all listening to, but that ain't music. And it's like, I got to check myself to say, you know what? This world is going to raise our children more so than we ever will, because they're in it. They're of it. Like, they got all this technology, all this shit that we had none of it. So what I've done is I've taken my hands off the gas, off the steering wheel, and I'm letting it, and I'm just trusting who I am, who my wife is, and who they came here to be. And I'm just guiding them, bro. Like, it's hard to really duplicate the same environment because it ain't the same. So I can't give you the same. Only thing I can give you is a universal lesson. And those universal lessons got to carry you. And I think that's where we have to find our path for our children, dog. Just because they know more. They're closer to God than we are. They just got here. They're less corrupted than we are. So I learn more from my kids. I learn more from my kids, and they probably learn from me every day.
Fuck. Salute. Goddamn, Karon. They're more closer to God than we are. They just got here. Fuck.
Just got here, dog.
Somebody gonna owe you for that bar. Somebody gonna owe you for that bar. Listen, we gonna trademark that son of a bitch. I'm calling somebody right there. That's ours.
Well, hey, listen. Over. I got more.
Listen, let me ask you this. At this point, where exactly do you where do you find yourself in your next role, your next movie, your next project? What is that for you? What is that part?
Well, I'm gonna put it out here. I'm gonna put it out here to the universe, man. The House of Ra, man. The House of Ra is the Black Superman movie that I wrote. I wrote the movie, and it's basically the real Black Superman, right? He gets his power from his melanin. We've learned how to weaponize our melanin, and that's how we get back in charge. And he doesn't come from another planet. He comes back in time to save the world in the future. The movie starts in the future.
Where does he start from? Where does he start from?
He starts in the year 3000. And the movie opens up with 3 floating pyramids above the surface. And underneath the pyramids, the world is going through catastrophic destruction because Mother Earth, which is a spirit, an entity in itself, is finally kicking humans off this motherfucker from all of the damage that our predecessors did to the world. Now, fast forward to the year 3000, we've got our power back and we are now the ruling class of the world. But now the earth is going through this change. So we have 2 factions of family in the House of Ra. My father and his brother. His brother's the head of the army. He's like, look, let them die. This is the bed they made, let them lie in it. My dad is like, no, if we do that, we're no different than they were when they were in charge. I'm sending my son back to be a beacon of hope and to change this shit in the past to fix the future.
Ooh.
So, House of Ra is the next project. That movie will make me a household name around the world, but also will change our culture in the right way. It's going to present us in a positive light, and it ain't going to be the Black Panther banana in the tailpipe movie.
Ooh, salute to my brother Karon Joseph.
Right.
So look at here, before we get out of here, and I feel like we're going to do this again because I feel like this is this.
Do it.
Yeah,
It's never enough time for.
I know. Hey, listen. Once we jumped into this bag, I said, "Yo, we might have to go. We might have to do something with this, Ron, for real."
We might have to do a part two. We can do a part 2. Let's talk about it. We can talk about it offline, and we can plan it out. We can do it, bro. So you can make your first episode of 2-parter. That's dope.
This is crazy. So before we get out here, I want to ask some sports shit, Ron.
Okay, let's do some sports shit.
Who was the hardest person to line up against? College, NFL, don't matter.
Man, shit, I got tackle. I'm gonna give it to you on all levels. High school, nobody could stop me in high school. There's nobody. College, the biggest challenge I had was Chris McIntosh from Wisconsin. He probably was the only tackle who I didn't get a sack on. But
wow.
He was the Outland Trophy winner.
Okay, this is a lot. Shit.
Yeah, and he told everybody at the draft, at his combine interviews, that I was the best defensive end he ever went against. So, touche to Chris McIntosh, wherever he is. I hope he and his family's doing great. He was a great warrior and a great competitor. Thank you for the experience.
Salute to Chris McIntosh.
In the league, I would say it was Jonathan Ogden.
Oh, Big Ogden from my conference. From DC.
From the Baltimore Ravens, 6'8", 6'9", had the reach that could touch Pluto from here.
Yeah.
And on top of him being really good, he was really cool. Like, he was one of those dudes out there just busting your ass, talking to you like, hey, that was a good move. That was a good move, young fella. That was a good move.
Cool ass, bro. And listen, he in tune too. Jonathan Ogden, he got that white boy vibe. But he's seriously in tune, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he was a beast, man. I swear he was dope. So those would be the guys, man. Those would be the guys I would say that made me say, "Ooh, all right, I gotta get on my horse tonight."
Now, this whole podcast is called "Got That Dog," and I wanted to highlight you because you're a person that said, "Yo, I gotta move. I got another move. I already know what I want," and I felt the same way when I got done playing ball. As we lead out the door, what do you got for anybody trying to be an actor, entrepreneur? What do you have for them going out the door?
I'll have out the door, stop trying and do. There is no trying, man. If you try, you ain't doing shit. So just do it. Take the first step. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. You know, every out there, anybody come to me and ask me, like, how do you get started? I always respond with the same answer. Get started. Time is gonna move whether you moving with it or not. So If you see the vision, it's yours to have, to claim. But the vision ain't solitary to just you. It's a million other people that's getting the same energy out of the said universe, because the universal knowledge, everybody's accessible to this knowledge. So the vision I had for myself, somebody else got it. Denzel had it. Denzel's son has it. There's people that's all have it, but then you get down to the separation part. And the separation occurs over time. Constant pressure over time equals success. That's a bar. That's one of the things I always use. Constant pressure over time equals success. And success don't happen overnight, but one night success happens. So I say to people that want to do everything, see it, believe it, go get it, and keep pedaling until you hit your head on it.
Hey, yo, look, check this out. Listen, this is the War Daddy Got That Dog podcast. It's the first episode, and you know what? God damn it, I bagged this son of a bitch, and I can't wait to air this bitch. Yo, salute to my brother, Karon Joseph Riley. We out this motherfucker. Woo! Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, bro.
Peace and love, y'all. I love you.